One of the hardest things to do as an adult is to make new friends, and given the remote pandemic world that we're in now, it can seem harder than ever to make new friends. But the great news is that friendships are still built on the same foundations that they were built on before, and that is that a great friendship is formed of trust and familiarity. And I've been fortunate over the past 18 months to have made a number of fantastic and no doubt long-lasting relationships and friendships online, and I wanted to share with you what I've learned from that process. Welcome, and if you're new here, I'm Kieran Panchal, and here I help you navigate the crazy decade that is your 20s. And so if you're trying to figure out life just like me, consider joining me on this journey by subscribing down below. Now, simply put, my online friends got me through the pandemic. I think I would have had a much tougher experience had I not had these friendships throughout lockdown. Now, some of these friendships became remote and online friendships due to the pandemic and people moving around the world. But others are new friendships I created over the past 18 months with people that I have not met and may never meet in my entire life, but I would still class them as friendships. Now, gone are the days where the internet is full of strange, creepy people. Now, don't get me wrong, there are still some of those weird, creepy people hanging about and lurking around on the internet, but the internet on the whole is actually full of people sharing their authentic selves, sharing their personal messages, things like videos like this where you're really starting to gain a connection and understand different people. And so being able to make friends online is now easier than it has ever been. Relationships and friendships online can be built from the smallest of things, a like or a retweet or a DM. And so if you want to make friends online, finding and engaging in those communities that have similar interests to you is a great way to make and meet new friends. The thing I found about communities and getting involved in them though, is that to focus on a small group of forums and communities rather than casting your net super wide, trying to basically make friends with everyone, because that actually won't help you make proper long-lasting friendships. And there are a couple of apps that you can use that help you do this. One of the apps I use is Discord. Now, Discord is predominantly gaming, but more recently I found myself engaging in lots of different communities in Discord. Like, I'm part of Discords around NFTs, around YouTube, around football. And so it's a great place if you love kind of all things digital to meet and make new friends. And so it's a fantastic app and I'd highly recommend downloading it. And another one is Bumble BFF, one that I haven't used, but YouTuber Makena did a really good video that will be linked somewhere over here where you can go and check out her experiences on using Bumble BFF. But it's essentially very similar to Bumble, but the whole purpose is not to date someone, but it's to actually find people that have similar interests to you and ultimately, be friends and make friends with each other. On top of this, you can still use the common social media apps, the Instagrams, the Twitters, the TikToks, to make and create friends. The thing I found about it though is you have to be very intentional about who you follow and what you engage with. And if you do that, actually the algorithm is going to feed you more people that are similar to you, and the likelihood of making friends or finding people that have similar interests to you is much higher. But if you focus on following celebrities, football teams and stuff like that, the likelihood is your timeline is going to be full of stuff that you can't really engage with and it's just there more as news. So if you want to use those social media apps as ways to make friends, be a bit more intentional about who you follow and what you interact with. So now you're part of this community and there are some people there that you probably think you have something in common with and that actually you would make a good friendship with. But how do you actually reach out to these people? This is something that I definitely struggled with. But one thing I've learned is to not overthink things. Sometimes you think, I have to go in with an important value statement, but remember that it's another person on the other end of that name or username, similar to how you are. They're no different, they're just another person. And so I found to not overthink it, but to actually lead with some form of question or intellect or curiosity rather than just a hi. I think of it like at work, if your manager messages you and just says hi, you're like, oh crap, is this good? Is this bad? Am I fired? And it's the same thing if you're reaching out to people online and you're just saying hi. It's probably not the best way of doing it because the person's probably not going to respond because they're not sure whether you're there to critique them or whether you're there to appreciate them, and so they will most likely ignore what you have to say. One thing I learned about when messaging people online was that sometimes when I saw their face or I saw their videos, I felt like I knew that person, but that I don't, and they don't know me either. And so starting off with some form of critique or feedback if you're introducing yourself to someone is just not the way to go about it. I like to think of it like you're in a bar, right? You wouldn't go up to someone and go, why did you order that? That's a really weird drinks order. Why the hell have you done that? You would start with, hey, I don't see many people ordering that drink at the bar. Tell me a bit more about why you love this drink. And so I found that actually leading with curiosity and appreciation absolutely trumps leading with critique and feedback when trying to make friends online. Like in real life, every contact doesn't have to end up in a relationship and a friendship. We have so many people that are just acquaintances or people that we're civil with and happy with, but we wouldn't necessarily class them as friends. And those same rules still apply online. You don't have to be friends and homies and buddies with every single person you meet online. It's okay to chat to that person occasionally. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. That's okay. There really is plenty more fish in the sea. There's so many people online now that the amount of people that you could be friends with is literally unlimited. And so do not worry about being fixated on, I must be friends with this person, because there are so many other people like that out there that I'm sure are just like you. The great thing about online friendships, which is different to in-person, real-life friendships, I think, is that a real-life friendship, you very much kind of have to meet in person to continue building and cultivating that relationship. Whereas I found that with my online friendships, they actually have so many more different levels, and I can have different levels of friendship. So where there are some friends I have where we just DM occasionally on Discord or Instagram or something, and we don't talk so frequently, but then I have other friends online that we have weekly sessions with where we go through how we're thinking about things, video stuff, all that type of stuff. And so you can have those different types and different levels of friendships with online friends that maybe you can't have with real life friends. It can be daunting to make new friends, particularly online, and I get you. I was in this exact same position, but I've been able to reassure myself and I've been able to make some amazing relationships online over the past 18 months through lockdown and the pandemic. And it's just reassured me that there are so many genuine, authentic people online that share similar interests to me that I can just create so many more of these friendships and learn so much more from these people all around the world. And so hopefully some of the tips I've shared in this video will help you create some long-lasting friendships. And so if you enjoyed this type of content, you might want to consider checking out my video that will be linked up here about how you can create momentum in your life and become less focused on motivation and how to build habits and healthy habits into your daily routines. And so I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you enjoyed that video too. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.